right, let's dive into this one. It's a classic, right?
It is.
How to Win Friends and Influence People
Dale Carnegie.
by Dale Carnegie. And this has been around forever.
It has, 1937, still going strong.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Still going strong. So what we have here, we've got your notes.
Yes.
And we've got some highlighted passages.
We do.
And I'm looking at some of these names. It's like Al Capone.
Right.
Two-Gun Crowley.
Yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt.
You've got
A Packard car.
Yeah, we've got a story about a Packard car being gifted. I mean, this book has some great anecdotes in it.
Okay, so give me the rundown. What is this book all about? Why is it still so popular?
Well, I think, as you said, it's been around for a long time. But what Carnegie does that I think is just so brilliant is that he really boils down human nature. He gets at, what makes people tick.
Mm-hmm.
And uses that then to be able to explain how we can influence people, how we can win friends,
Okay, so part of this is understanding how people think.
Absolutely.
But then there's also like the tactics.
Yeah.
How to put this into practice.
Yeah. So he gives us kind of both. He gives us like the theory behind it all.
Yeah.
But then he also gives these really practical, ways to use it.
Okay. So all right. So you were saying that it starts with this idea of like everybody wants to feel important.
Right.
Right. Even like a hardened criminal like Two-Gun Crowley.
Yeah. I mean, it's so fascinating to think about. Here's a guy who's, on the run from the police.
Right.
Considered a really dangerous criminal.
Public enemy number one.
Yeah, exactly. And he writes this letter, right? And in this letter, he basically tries to defend himself and say that he actually has a kind heart.
He's misunderstood.
Yeah, he's misunderstood.
Yeah.
Right. And it just goes to show you that even someone who seems to be, so far outside of what we would consider normal, acceptable behavior, they still have that human need to feel important.
Yeah, to feel
valued.
To feel valued. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does that? I mean, so that was back then.
Right.
So how does that kind of translate to today? Are we all just like seeking likes and followers? Is that what we're doing?
Well,
Same thing, just different platforms.
I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Right.
I mean, we all crave that sense of validation, and social media gives us a very easy kind of quick hit of that.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody, no matter who you are, you crave that importance. You crave.
We crave it.
Feeling valued.
Okay.
And then you've also got this other point that you made in your notes where people don't really criticize themselves.
Right. That's another one of those like fundamental things about human nature that Carnegie brings up, that we don't want to admit we're wrong. And you've got those great examples like, Theodore Roosevelt,
yeah,
who just never admitted that he was wrong. Even
right.
when, President Taft criticized him, he just kind of doubled down.
Right.
And John Wanamaker, he said this great quote. He said, "I learned 30 years ago that it is foolish to scold." Right? Like, what's the point?
What's the point?
People are going to justify their actions. They're not going to admit that they're wrong.
Okay. So how do you deal with, so everybody's walking around thinking they're right all the time.
Right.
And you gotta kind of navigate that world.
Yes. And that's, I think, where these principles that he talks about in terms of making people like you, that's where they become so valuable.
Yeah.
Because if you can make people like you, they're going to be much more open to, hearing what you have to say.
Right.
Even if you disagree with them.
Okay. So his first big point is how to make people like you.
Exactly. And he starts with a really important one, which is become genuinely interested in other people.
Okay. So not just like, acting like you are.
Right. Not just trying to, butter them up or something.
Yeah.
But actually truly being interested in them as a human being.
Okay.
And you highlighted this great analogy that he uses about the fisherman.
Well, yeah. He was saying that if you want to catch fish, you use worms, even if you like strawberries better.
Exactly. Because it's not about what you like, it's about what the fish like.
Right.
And so if you want to influence people, you have to think about what they want, what their needs are.
So you're meeting them where they are.
You're meeting them where they are, not trying to, impose your own preferences on them.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. And then so that's the first one, right? Be genuinely interested. What's the next one?
The next one, well, this one seems really simple, but it's so powerful.
Okay.
And that is to smile.
Smile. Okay. So I got to smile.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds so basic.
Yeah.
But think about it. When someone smiles at you, how does that make you feel?
Yeah. I mean, it does make you feel better.
Yeah. You feel more open to them. You feel like they like you. And Carnegie talks about how it's this universal language.
Yeah.
He even compares it to a dog greeting its owner, that kind of pure, joyful expression.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
And you even highlighted that story about the baby in the doctor's waiting room, how this baby's smile just transformed the whole atmosphere.
Yeah. That is a good one. The baby's smile like kind of broke the tension.
Broke the tension, yeah.
Yeah, everybody just started, feeling a little bit better.
Yeah. So it's really amazing how such a simple thing can have such a big impact.
Okay, smile. Got it.
Yeah.
What else is there?
All right. So this one is a classic, I think. Remember people's names.
Oh yeah. Names are important.
Names are huge, and Carnegie talks about how a person's name is the sweetest sound in any language.
Yeah.
And he even, highlights Jim Farley, who was this incredible politician.
Mm-hmm.
And he could remember like 50,000 names.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
But it shows you how much people value feeling like they're known.
Yeah.
Like you see them.
You see them. Yeah, you're not just like, a number.
Right.
Yeah. You're Jim. You're Susan. You're whatever.
Exactly. And you even pointed out that story about the guy working at the deli counter.
Oh yeah.
And how his whole demeanor changed when the customer addressed him by name.
Yeah. Like I don't know, I don't remember the guy's name, but like,
right.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm a person.
Right.
I'm not just the deli guy.
It's like he felt seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it did change his whole, demeanor, like you said.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So we've got to be interested. We got to smile. We got to know people's names. What else is in this formula for winning friends and influencing people?
All right, so this one is really important, and that is to be a good listener.
Be a good listener.
Okay.
Well, I'm all ears.
You are.
I am. I'm listening.
Well, that's what Carnegie says is so crucial.
Cool.
Is that we need to actually, really listen to people, not just waiting for our turn to type, but really trying to understand what they're saying.
Yeah, like active listening.
Exactly, active listening. And he even quotes Charles W. Eliot, who was the president of Harvard.
Oh, wow.
And Eliot said that the greatest compliment you can pay someone is to give them your undivided attention.
Okay. So just being present, being there with the person.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Absolutely. And you even highlighted that story about the businessman who lost his voice.
Yeah.
And because he couldn't talk, he ended up winning this $1 million contract.
Wow, just by listening.
Just by listening. Because he was forced to actually, pay attention to what the other person was saying.
Yeah.
And through that, he was able to build a rapport and understand their needs in a way that he wouldn't have been able to if he was just, talking all the time.
Okay. So listen more, talk less.
Yeah.
Got it. What else is there?
Okay, so this one is all about connecting with people on their level. And that is talk in terms of the other person's interests.
Okay, so you got to figure out like what they care about.
Exactly. What gets them excited?
Right.
What are their passions?
Okay.
And then find a way to relate your message to those things.
So it's not about, pushing your own agenda.
Right.
It's about like finding that common ground.
Exactly. It's about finding that overlap.
Yeah.
And you highlighted that story about the Boy Scout leader who was trying to raise money.
Yeah, he was trying to
And instead of just, talking with the Boy Scouts, he found out that the donor was really interested in this framed $1 million check.
Yeah.
So he talked about that.
So he connected it to something.
He connected it to that.
Yeah.
And that's how he got the donation.
Wow, okay.
Because he was speaking the donor's language.
Speaking their language.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got to talk in terms of their interests. What else we got?
Okay, so this one is all about making the other person feel valued. And that is to make them feel important.
Okay.
Important.
And do it sincerely.
So not fake, not just,
Right, not just trying to flatter them.
Yeah.
But actually genuinely appreciating something about them.
Okay, so like genuine compliments. Genuine compliments.
Yeah.
Noticing something that they've done well. And you highlighted that story about the woman who gave away her Packard car
Oh, yeah.
to this man who had just been kind to her.
Yeah.
And it's such a powerful example of how much people crave that feeling of being appreciated.
Okay. All right. So those are the six. Those are the six. What do you call them? So six ways.
6 ways to make people like you.
Okay. Okay. So be interested.
Right.
Smile. Remember their name. Listen.
And talk in terms of their interests.
Okay,
And make them feel important.
Okay. And all sincerely. Like
Sincerely.
like actually mean it.
Yeah, that's the key. It has to be genuine.
Okay. All right. So that's kind of like, I guess that's like the foundation, right?
That's the foundation.
That's the foundation.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he goes into the 12 ways to win people to your way of thinking.
Exactly. That's where we get into the tactics of persuasion.
Okay. All right. Well, let's dive into that.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So those are the ways to make people like you. Those 6 ways.
Oh.
But now we're getting into how to actually like convince them, right?
Exactly. Persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay. So what's his first tip for that?
Well, this one might surprise you.
Okay.
He says the best way to win an argument is to avoid it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're just like
Just walk away.
well, yeah, I mean, I guess so. Or just
Yeah.
like don't even engage.
Right. Because what he's saying is that, even if you win an argument, you've probably lost something more important.
Okay. Like what?
Like the relationship.
Fine.
Because even if you logically defeat the other person, they're probably going to walk away feeling resentful.
Right.
Like they've lost.
Okay. So don't argue.
Don't argue.
Okay. So so if you disagree with somebody, just like keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what you do?
Well, not necessarily. It's more about how you approach the disagreement. And that leads us to his next principle, which is to show respect for the other person's opinions.
Okay.
Never say you're wrong. Yeah.
Okay. So even if they are wrong, you don't say that.
You don't say that.
Okay.
Because again, it's about maintaining that relationship. It's about acknowledging that they have a different perspective. And even if you don't agree with it, you can still respect it.
Okay. So acknowledge their opinion. Don't just like steamroll them.
Right.
Okay. What else?
Okay, so this one is really important. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Don't try to make excuses. Don't try to, downplay it. Just own up to it.
So if you're wrong, just
Just say, you know what? I was wrong.
yeah, I messed up.
Okay.
Okay.
Because people respect that.
So take ownership of when you've made a mistake and apologize, like I guess if it's warranted.
Right. If you've, offended someone or done something that's harmed them, then absolutely apologize. But even if it's just a matter of, you were wrong about a fact or something, just acknowledging that can go a long way.
Okay. And then so we've got to avoid arguments. We've got to respect opinions. We've got to admit when we're wrong. What else we got?
Okay, so this one is all about setting the right tone, and that is to begin in a friendly way.
Okay.
Carnegie quotes this proverb: "A drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall."
Okay. Yeah, I get that. Like kill them with kindness sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Be approachable, be warm, be friendly.
Right, because if you come in like guns blazing, people are gonna
You're gonna shut down.
yeah, they can put their guard up.
Exactly.
Okay. And then so be friendly. And then what?
All right, so this one is pretty clever. Get the other person saying yes, yes early.
Okay. So like a yes man sort of thing. Like just agree with everything they say.
Well, not quite. It's more about finding points of agreement, even if they're small.
Okay.
Because what he's saying is that if you can get someone nodding their head, if you can get them agreeing with you on a few things, they're going to be much more likely to agree with you on the bigger things.
Yeah. Okay. So you're kind of like building momentum.
Building momentum, exactly. And she tells a story about a banker who was dealing with this really difficult customer. And the customer came in and he was just complaining about everything.
Right.
And the banker, instead of arguing with him, he just started agreeing with him.
Really?
Yeah. He said, you know what? You're right. The service here has been terrible. You're absolutely right to be upset.
Okay. So just validate their feelings.
Validate their feelings. And then once he had the customer kind of nodding along, then he was able to start steering the conversation in a more productive direction.
Okay. All right. So you're not necessarily agreeing with them.
Right.
But you're agreeing that they have the right to feel the way they feel.
Exactly. You're acknowledging their perspective.
Okay. All right. Right. So 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 far we've got to avoid the argument, respect their opinion, admit when you're wrong, be friendly, get them saying yes. What else we got?
Okay, so this one goes back to what we were talking about earlier with listening. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking.
Oh, okay, so let them talk.
Let them talk.
Yeah.
Because people love to talk about themselves. And when you give them the space to do that, they're going to feel like you're really listening to them.
Right.
And they're going to be much more open to hearing what you have to say.
Okay, so it's almost like you're kind of like disarming them a little bit.
If you're building rapport, you're building trust.
Okay. So let them talk. And then what's the next step after that?
Okay, so this one is a little bit more subtle. Let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers.
Okay, so plant the seed.
Yeah, kind of. But it's more than that. It's about really trying to understand their needs and then framing your solution in a way that aligns with those needs.
Okay.
So it feels like it's their idea.
So it feels like it's their idea. Okay. Can you give me an example of that?
Yeah. So you highlighted that story about the manufacturer who was trying to sell this X-ray equipment.
Oh, yeah.
And instead of just, going in and giving a big sales pitch, he went to the doctors and he said, "Hey, I'm working on this new X-ray machine. I'd love to get your feedback on it."
Oh, okay.
And he basically let the doctors tell him what they wanted.
So he let them kind of design it for him.
Yeah, in a way. And then when he went back and he built the machine based on their feedback, they were much more likely to buy it.
Because it felt like it was their idea.
Because it felt like it was their idea. Exactly.
Okay. All right. So you got to avoid the argument, respect the opinion, admit when you're wrong, be friendly, get them saying yes, let them talk, make them think it's their idea. This is a lot. There's a lot to keep track of.
It is. But it's all about, really understanding human nature and approaching these interactions with empathy and with a genuine desire to connect.
Okay, so we got to avoid the argument, respect the opinion, admit when you're wrong, be friendly, get them saying yes, let them talk, and make them think it's their idea. What else have we got?
Okay, so this next one is huge. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view.
Okay.
Really try to understand where they're coming from.
Put yourself in their shoes.
Put yourself in their shoes, yeah. And, he tells this great story about this group of boys who were building a campfire in a park.
Oh, yeah. And it was like a no fire zone.
Right.
Yeah, you can't have a fire there.
And he could have just yelled at them and told them to put it out. But instead, he went over to them and he started talking to them and he found out that they were just kids having fun. They didn't mean any harm.
Right.
And so he said, "Hey, I understand you guys want to have a campfire, but this isn't really the place for it." And then he suggested a different spot in the park where they could go.
Oh, okay. So he gave them an alternative.
He gave them an alternative, and the boys were happy. And he was happy.
Yeah.
Because he had avoided a confrontation and he had actually, helped them out.
Okay. So it's about understanding where they're coming from and trying to work with them instead of against them.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So see things from their point of view. What else we got?
Okay, so this one goes along with that. Be sympathetic to the other person's ideas and desires.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So not just their point of view, but what they actually want.
Right. What they're hoping for, what they're dreaming of. And Carnegie says this great quote. He says, 3/4 of the people you will ever meet are hungering and thirsting for sympathy. So just showing that you care, that you understand.
Yeah, like validating their feelings.
Validating their feelings. And he even tells this story about, how he made this mistake during a broadcast. And he got this really nasty letter from a listener who was criticizing him for it.
Right.
And instead of getting defensive, he actually wrote back to her and he said, "You know what? I understand why you're upset. And I appreciate you taking the time to write to me."
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he basically just, acknowledged her feelings.
Yeah.
And it completely disarmed her.
Okay. So be sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else we got?
All right. So this one might seem a little bit counterintuitive. Appeal to the nobler motives.
The nobler motives. What does that even mean?
It means assume that people want to do the right thing. Give them the benefit of the doubt. And when you do that, they're more likely to live up to those expectations.
Okay. So kind of like set the bar high.
Set the bar high, yeah. And believe that they can reach it.
Okay.
So this one is all about making your ideas come alive. Dramatize your ideas.
Okay. So how do you do that?
Use stories. Use examples, use visuals, anything that you can do to make your message more engaging and memorable.
Okay, so don't just like tell them the facts.
Right.
Like make it a story.
Make it a story. And he gives this example of a salesman who was trying to sell this product that would save his customers money.
Right.
And instead of just telling them how much money they would save, he actually took out a bunch of pennies and he started counting them out.
Really?
Yeah. He said, look, this is how much money you're losing every day.
Okay.
And it had this much bigger impact because it was so visual. It was so tangible.
Okay. So show, don't tell.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So dramatize your ideas. And then the last one.
All right, this one is for all the competitive people out there.
Yeah.
Throw down a challenge. Yeah.
So give them something to like strive for.
Give them a goal. Give them something to prove, because people love a challenge.
Okay. So challenge them. And then so those are the 12 ways to win people to your way of thinking.
Those are the 12 ways.
Okay. So we've got the 6 ways to make people like you, and the 12 ways to convince them.
Yeah.
What else is in this book? There's a whole section on leadership, right?
There is. And I think a lot of these principles that we've been talking about, they apply to leadership as well.
Okay. So like how to be a good leader.
Yeah. How to inspire people, how to motivate people, how to get the best out of them.
Okay. All right. Well, let's dive into that. What are some of his tips for being a good leader?
Well, he starts by saying that you should begin with praise and honest appreciation.
Okay, so start with the positive.
Start with the positive. Let people know that you appreciate them, that you value their work. And he even uses this analogy. He says it's like a dentist using Novocaine.
Oh, yeah.
You still might have to do the drilling.
Right.
But it's a lot less painful if you numb the area first.
Okay, so start with the praise, and then what?
Okay, so this one is important. If you do need to criticize someone, do it indirectly.
Indirectly. Okay, so not like, call them out in front of everybody.
Right. Don't embarrass them.
Right.
Find a way to point out the mistake without making them feel like they're being attacked.
Okay, so be subtle.
Be subtle,
Yeah.
And he even suggests that you should talk about your own mistakes before you criticize someone else.
Oh, okay, so like lead by example.
Lead by example, exactly, because it shows that you're not perfect either.
Right. We all make mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
Okay, so start with praise, be indirect with your criticism. What else we got?
Okay, so this one is all about empowering people. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders.
Okay, so instead of like just telling them what to do.
Right.
Yeah. Get them to think about it themselves.
Get them to think about it themselves, because when people feel like they're part of the solution, they're much more likely to be invested in the outcome.
Okay. All right, so ask questions. What else have we got?
Okay, so this one is about protecting people's dignity. Let the other person save face.
Save face. Okay. What does that mean?
It means don't humiliate them. Don't embarrass them. Even if they've made a mistake, find a way to let them correct it without feeling like they've lost their dignity.
Okay. So be respectful.
Be respectful.
Yeah. Even when you're like disciplining them or whatever.
Right. Because everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, destroy someone's self-esteem just because they messed up.
Okay. So let them save face. All right. What else we got?
Okay, so this one is about recognizing progress, praise the slightest improvement, and praise every improvement. So even if it's just a small step in the right direction, acknowledge it, celebrate it.
Okay. So positive reinforcement.
Positive reinforcement, yeah, because it encourages people to keep going. It shows them that you're paying attention and that you believe in them.
Okay. All right. So praise the improvement, and then what's next?
All right, so this one is all about setting high expectations. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to.
Okay.
So if you believe in someone, let them know. Tell them that you think they're capable of great things, and they'll often rise to the occasion. Okay,
so kind of like give them a goal to shoot for.
Give them a goal to shoot for, and believe that they can reach it.
Okay. And then the last one.
The last one is this. Use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct.
Okay, so like don't make a big deal out of it.
Right. Don't make them feel like they've, committed some terrible sin.
Right.
Just say, hey, you made a mistake. It's okay. Here's how we can fix it.
Okay. So make it seem like it's not a big deal.
Exactly.
And that it's easy to correct.
Yeah. Because when people feel like they can easily fix a problem, they're much more likely to try.
Okay. All right. So those are all of Carnegie's tips for being a good leader.
Those are the main ones.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of information.
It is. It is.
But it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It's really good stuff. And you know, I think what's so amazing about this book is that it's just as relevant today as it was back in 1937.
Yeah.
Because human nature hasn't really changed.
Right. We still all want to feel important. We still all want to feel, appreciated.
Exactly. And these principles that Carnegie lays out, they're timeless.
Yeah. Okay. So for all our listeners out there, if you're looking to improve your relationships, if you're looking to, be more persuasive, if you're looking to be a better leader, this book is definitely worth a read.
Absolutely. It's a classic for a reason.
It is. All right. Well, thanks for diving deep with me on this one.
My pleasure.
And for all our listeners out there, keep diving deep